There's so much to do today. I want to be really useful. Whoa! Who's that? I'm not gonna stop! Oh! You're lucky I stopped. What are you doing on the tracks, mad scientist?
I got something for you, Thomas. A little potion that's gonna make you really useful. I guarantee you'll never be the same once you've had a taste of this wee drink. Drink up, Thomas. All your big problems are gonna become small. Let's give Annie a drink. She's a thirsty girl. And we can't forget about old Clarabelle. There's plenty for all. How you feeling, Thomas? You got that shrinking feeling that comes of success? It's showtime. Yeah, baby. Now let's see how useful you really are, Tiny Thomas.
You're not gonna get away with this, mad scientist. I'm still really useful, and now I'm super cute. Your evil plans have backfired. Anyway, you should know that great things come in small packages. Look at me. I'm small, and I'm still really useful.
It's been a while since I did a good how-to video, and this one's a corker. I'll explain a method of using the tiny Bachmann HO Gandy Dancer and use it to power toy trains which normally don't run on HO track. This covers one of the very common questions that I've been asked over the years. I'll show a method for powering a take-along style toy train and really set myself a challenge and power a tiny Pez Thomas as well. It's almost unbelievable that a Pez Thomas could become a HO runner. Best of all, I've made some extra ones to give away in a special contest. Before I start to count the rivets on this one, I'll have to throw up that special warning. This mod requires some specialised tools and safety gear. You'll need eye protection because we'll be using a Dremel Tools cut-off discs and rotary sanders. These ones are the smaller size that Dremel do. You'll also need a selection of hand files and some other general tools. If you've got a cordless drill and a small selection of drill bits, that's also going to help. Throw in some masking tape and epoxy glue, and to help holding these tiny models, you'll need a small bench vise. The key to this mod is utilising the tiny size of the Gandy Dancer so it can reside inside the toy trains that I've selected. This mod could easily be applied to many different models. I'm sure you're asking, why have I not chosen the Tommy Playrail Thomas, as it would be perfect for this mod? The simple fact is, I have very few of these hard to find models, and I've only recently just obtained one Thomas model. I've got heaps of the rolling stock associated with this style, and I'll show you a little later on how to throw on HO wheels onto the carriages. The Gandy Prancer is surely a curious model. There are some tests to perform to see if it's a viable power plant. Its weight is 34 grams or 1.2 ounces. A Thomas Take-Along is 57 grams, or that's 2 ounces. The tiny and super cute Pez Thomas is 7 grams or 0.2 ounces. So let's put 50 grams of weight onto a Gandy Dancer to see if it's able to operate. And as you can see, it can move this weight with ease. The Gandy Dancer is divided down the middle and the whole metal body is electrified. Any metallic connections joining the sides will result in a short circuit. You'll need to strip off some parts so it becomes a very compact unit. The parts breakdown sheet shows the items I removed. This was easily done without pulling apart the Gandy Dancer. And it's amazing, once those little men are gone, it really is a good runner. There's also some metal to be removed, and you'll need to do this if you'll be doing the Pez installation. Okay, let's do a Pez. This is a very tricky mod, and you'll need good modelling skills to pull this off. And notice that I've protected the model with masking tape in the vise. First I've filed down the plastic at the base of the model. I will also file in 2 notches where the toolboxes on the Gandy Dancer reside. It's wise to keep checking for fit. I'm doing this all the time as I'm filing. Then comes a very careful Dremel job in the very same way a dentist would drill a tooth. The Dremel's running at low speed and I'm being very careful with what I'm removing. This is a slow process and it really pays to keep checking for fit along the way. I can assure you this modified Gandy Dancer only just fits inside. I found this mod could also be done to Percy, but I feel James is too small around the boiler to be viable. I would assume the new Toby Pez would be perfect for this mod. Here's a before and after of both Thomas and Percy, and you can clearly see how much material has been removed by the Dremel sander. I make them a non-permanent and snug fit onto the Dandy Ganser, so it's always interchangeable with other models. I'll have to admit my very first attempt was a far more aggressive and butcherous job, and I was really trying to get the wheels to be right up on the running plate of little Thomas model. I ended up removing so much of the inside of the Pez that it literally fell apart on my hands, and what you see here has been saved by super glue. But from this first failure, I certainly learned a lot about what I could take away to make a nice little model on my second attempt. Now I have a fistful of HO powered Pez trains. Let's now tackle a take along. This video footage is from my first attempt, and you'll see how I literally whittle away the parts of the model so the Dandy Dancer has a home. I pull the model apart, and once it's in pieces I start to plan an attack. I will aim to have the Dandy Prancer fitted into the wheel bogie area. I will also have to remove some of the upper die-cast metal as well. I snip away at the plastic wheels and clear the lower plastic of all wheels and axles. Then I map out a cut plan, remembering the direction of the model at all times. Using a cut-off disc, I remove a section of plastic, working little by little. One thing about plastic is once it's been removed, it's very hard to put back on. Any fine work is done by a hand file. This initial wheel setting was changed later on to a much more aggressive fit to sink the wheels further inside the take-along. Next comes the running plate, and there's plastic which needs to be removed here as well. Again, the cut-off disc does the initial cuts. The cuts in this running plate are done in the two-part process. There's the bottom plastic to be removed first, and then there's a square which needs to be cut out of the top. And I come in with a hand file and carefully enlarge the cut area, making sure the running plate is a flush fit back with the bogie plastic. You can also see that now I've set the wheels further in to the bogie plastic at this point. Next item in the way is the die-cast stem, and I'll also remove the cab detail as it needs to be cut as well. Again, I use the cut-off disc to remove the die-cast stem, and once done, I insert the cab detail back into the die-cast body. And while we're in here, look at how Thomas's front end is so easily removed. It's only held on by a simple hook. Do you remember when the front end of the boiler used to be all metal in the take-alongs? I do. Okay, now I've used that screw at the front to pull this train back together. And we can clearly see the cavity where the Dandy Dancer resides. It's held in via an interference fit of the bottom bogie plastic which flexes to accept the Dandy Dancer. The job is now done. In a very novel way, it brings to life your Thomas toy trains. Surely a head turner if you had this little guy running around at model railway exhibitions. I'm sure if I did a second model, I could refine the location of the wheels. At this height, the take-along magnets lined up with the couplings, which can be found on most HO and OO trains. Oh yes, while most of the world is enjoying a beautiful summer, look at what we've got for winter. You see, I come from a place called Australia, and there's been a lot of rain. And my busy little garage studios has had a few leaks. And it's also been bitterly cold this year. I dare say it's been caused by the global warming. Now let's look at how I made these Tommy Playrail HO runners. First I select a set of wheels which suit the job. The bogie set I've selected has metal wheels. There's only one screw to remove, then snip away the wheels and remove the axles. The new HO bogie will ride on the base, and I'll use a longer screw and add a washer to give it clearance from the carriage. Throw it back together and presto, the job's done. To do the coupling on the Pez, I added a hoop coupling removed from a surplus model to the Dandy Dancer by simply using two-part epoxy. And Shazam! Now my Pez Thomas runner has HO rolling stock, courtesy of the Tommy Playrail system. Let's get lost in Train World for a little while and enjoy the sheer beauty of these unusual models doing the rounds. Always remembering it's just a novelty and fun project. In no way am I a serious rivet counter. This video is getting a little bit long in the tooth, so the next video will be a contest video to win a bunch of powered Pez trains. It's actually a very tricky mod to pull off. In the contest, there'll be a quiz and I'll be asking you how many times did I mispronounce the name Gandy Dancer in this video. If you're like me and have slight dyslexia, Gandy Dancer can quite often come out as Dandy Ganser. I'll also do an example video to assist you in entering the contest. And after the contest video, watch out Hornby. Part of the reason why this video took so long, and it took weeks to make, was some issues that I had with the Hornby Thomas train set. This led me on a very disturbing path of discovery, which will make you look very carefully at what you buy. Never assume a model you see in a review on YouTube is the same one as you'll find in the shop, and I'm now wishing I bought a Bachmann Thomas. I really hope this video inspires you to make your own Dandy Ganser powered toy trains. Good luck.